We're here at the Canadian Biosystems North American Nutrition Summit. Happy to talk with Rob Patterson, the technical director of the host company, Canadian Biosystems. Rob, I thought we'd maybe just start off a little bit talking about the Nutrition Summit. I know it's a first for Canadian Bio. Maybe just tell me a little bit about the day and what you're looking forward to here.
Yeah, well, it's our first time doing it here in North America. It's the second time hosting this kind of a conference. We did our first one last year in Bangkok, and it was such a good success, and we got such great feedback that we said, we have to do this again. And with the Animal Nutrition Conference of Canada being held in Edmonton this week, we thought it was a perfect opportunity to host this. And so we've had 51 people, and just finished off the first half of the summit this morning, and it's been really good.
Yeah, excellent. And I know we've heard from one of the speakers so far today. We got another one coming up, but you have some very good speakers giving some scientific perspective on things. I guess the first one we heard from today was Dr. Bogdan Slominski at University of Manitoba. I know you guys have had a long relationship. Maybe if you could just tell me a little bit about that partnership.
Yeah, so Bogdan's been our chief scientist for over 25 years, and so he has, I don't think there's anyone else in the world with more experience with the application of feed enzymes than Bogdan does. So, and not only is he our chief research scientist, but he's also a full professor at the University of Manitoba. So he really has that industry practical experience, but he bridges that with the academic as well. So he was talking today, he gave a pretty broad mosaic of things that he's worked on over the last 20 years and some historic data. And he also talked about some of the recent work that he's done on enzymes and bridging the gap between using enzymes to reduce costs, but also to improve health, improve functionality of consumer products like table eggs and enriching poultry meat with omega-3 fatty acids. So he did all of that, and he also touched on some new data that he's working on where he's using his expertise in dietary yeast compounds with that feed enzyme application technology, and he has a brand new portfolio of technology, and he's going to be able to use that to replace antibiotics in poultry and swine here in the next in the near future.
Yeah, well, that's very exciting stuff, and I know that's a big topic of conversation today is the transition in the industry and looking at ways to reduce antibiotics. What about Simon Kern, who we're going to hear a little bit more from later today? What perspective does he bring to it? I know he's coming in from the US, and yep. Canadian Bio has more of a North American and international focus.
Yeah, so Simon, he's going to really bring a practical, hands-on commercial approach. You know, he would really be a commercial nutritionist. 5 to 10 years experience specifically on pigs. So the US being one of the biggest pig producers in the world, and he's right at the heart of it. He's right in Iowa. And so he's going to bring that perspective from the ground level, what's going on in the US pig production, what his experiences are, what his role is, and how he's using new technology to improve profitability, improve performance from a US perspective. So it's really going to be exciting to hear from Simon this afternoon.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I can see how all of that ties in nicely with the direction of Canadian Biosystems. And we look forward to talking to both of those speakers a bit later today. I guess bringing it back to Canadian Biosystems, I know that you guys have evolved quite a bit with your company and the direction of your products and the science that's backing it up. You talked today a little bit about these feed science platforms. I guess as a way of getting into the conversation, how would you kind of describe the way that things are evolving for Canadian Biosystems?
Yeah, so the feed science platforms, that's new for this conference. So that's really how we're grouping our technology. We cover a broad basis of science and broad basis of applications. So to simplify it for the customer, we really wanted to have those 5 pillars, those 5 platforms that we launch things off of. So that started today. We'll see what the uptake is. We're pretty optimistic, but those 5 solutions are what we're offering to our customer base to say, hey, this is what Canadian Biosystems is doing. These are the pipelines that we have. This is the existing offering we have, but we also have a big pipeline of new technologies, and they're going to be funneled through on those platforms. You'll be able to use those. They'll be commercial ready, and as you go forward, those are those different products and those offerings are how we're going to allow profitability, health, feed efficiency to be optimized for our customer base.
Yeah, excellent. And I know this ties in, and you spoke to this as well, are the services that CBS offers and some of the efforts that support where you're going with the science and the product. So things like these surveys that you're doing,
Yep.
and some of the quality tests, things like that.
Yeah. So we touched on that real quick this morning. The Feed Check suite of services. That's something that we've offered for a number of years. So we just gotta keep expanding on it. So the biggest one we've done in the last 6 months is what's called Feed Check Soy. So that's going to allow customers to rapidly detect the quality of soybean meal in their diets, and be able to offer solutions and formulate and produce around what those results are. But something else that we've been doing for a number of years is what we call our feed surveys. So it started a few years ago looking at wheat, and we did that for a number of years, got really good response from the industry. And so where we saw a gap in the knowledge was on barley, and that's one of the biggest ingredients used here in Alberta. So we said, well, we got to address this. And so this is the first year we had the barley survey. So the numbers are tabulated. We're just working on it, and hopefully in the next couple weeks here, we'll have the first Alberta barley survey released for our customer base as well.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we'll look forward to that. And I know a little bit of the reason, like you mentioned, for having the Nutrition Summit this week is that a lot of your customers and partners, along with the Canadian Biosystems team, are heading up to the Animal Nutrition Conference of Canada in Edmonton. I know that will be a showcase of a lot of technology, a lot of innovation, and a lot of discussion on some of the key trends now shaping the industry. Mm-hmm. We mentioned the trend with antimicrobial use. Would that be one that stands out? I guess just looking for some perspective on where the broad industry is evolving.
Yeah. So this is the national conference. So it's going to be around 300 delegates attending. CBS has over 24 people in partnership at that conference. So the big themes this year are focusing on innovation. So the drivers are how do we maximize profitability? So there's going to be a lot of talk on the use of co-products and the use of alternative ingredients for swine, poultry, turkey, dairy feeds. But bridged in there and woven in is going to be looking at new technologies to how do we manage a world where we can't use antibiotics for growth promotion anymore. And so there will be a few talks focused specifically on that as well, because at the end of this year we're walking into a world in Canada anyway where the free use of antimicrobial compounds for growth promotion is going to be restricted federally. So any application technology that people can use right away is going to be of big interest to the customer base and the industry at large.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure with a lot of your customers, you're getting a lot of questions about that, and there's a lot of rising interest in it. So it's excellent to see Canadian Biosystems and its products lining up with really where the world is going and offering some new solutions.
Yep. Yeah. We try to be on the cutting edge and try to always have something new that our customers can use to improve their businesses, because that's really what it's all about.
Excellent. Well, thanks for spending some time with us today, Rob.
You're welcome.